everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Healing Hearts. I'm Jessica Holland. Today, I just want to touch base on endings. Just with Mercury retrograde happening, we see sometimes a lot of endings and a lot of new beginnings. And I just want to urge you to take a look at things in a different manner. If you are like panicking a little bit because of an ending, or if you are feeling a little bit uneasy of an ending that's happening that you might not be ready to let go of, but life is pushing you forth in a different manner than what you thought you would need, then it's time. It is time to look at it. And is it an ending or is it a new beginning? It just really goes hand in hand, and it should be like, duh. Of course, when the door closes, a new one opens, but sometimes when we're in the storm or when we're literally right in the midst of things happening to us, we forget to look at it like that. We forget to look at things in a manner which will ultimately serve us, in a manner where you'll realize, like, wait a moment. Last time that I thought something horrible was going to happen, just because my nervous system wasn't used to it. You might not think about it in that way about your nervous system, but when we are used to living a specific way or going through a specific pattern within our minds, right when that change happens, it sometimes feels really weird. It feels like, whoa, this is not me, or it feels like, whoa, I might die. I might go into a black hole and die. I know it sounds wild, but sometimes that's what our nervous system thinks, because something might be so different for us, even though it might be good for us. Obviously, we use discernment and we use intuition, all those good things, and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all the smoothie of those things to realize what that new thing might be and what you're being pushed forth for and towards. But I want you to think about it. Is it an ending or is it a new beginning? You have to look at it in that manner and never despise small beginnings. I remember one time when I was trying to get used to talking in a different way versus like not cursing so much. I felt like I had to stop myself every other sentence. I was like, I would have to stop myself. But that was because the old pattern wanted to emerge. So it's even in that sense that it was trying to emerge within me. But it just felt so weird. It felt so different. And even my ego was fighting back, like, well, why can't I express myself? Why would I want to not use my choice words? But then I began to rise up to a different occasion, and I realized that I didn't want to speak like that so often. I wouldn't say all the time, but so often. So is it an ending or is it a new beginning? You can just do wonderful things with that, and you can put it to life and bring it to life in so many different ways. But I urge you, don't feel like your life is falling apart. Feel like it's being put back together and being put together in a way that is going to propel you to become a better you, to become a new model of a new vehicle, just how they have new vehicles every single year. That's just the same thing with some new features. It's still as good as the old one. You know, you always want to be thankful to what your patterns were. I feel like that's a very important thing to want to do, is to be thankful. You know, thank your old self and even your now self, and thank those patterns for what they did for you. Because in a lot of those ways, those protective patterns that we had they ultimately somewhat saved our lives and got us this far. There's a reason why they adapted into a way that it became a protective pattern or a protective part of us. For example, I know working hard, like thinking that you have to hustle and that you have to. Now, I'm not saying be lazy. There's a fine balance, but there's a way that you don't have to try so hard. Like it has never been an easier time like now to make money and to produce things and to create things. So anywho, yes, you can thank your older self and your old mentality for bringing you forth and allowing you to survive and allowing you to provide all those years that it provided you for. But yet, it is now time to let go of that. So of course, your protective self is going to rise up and say, well, what if I need to work harder because I want to achieve this, because I need to make sure that I never go back to the old way that I used to live without being provided for. Or maybe I'm just using just that hustle culture that is dying off as an example. Thank yourself for that. Thank yourself for participating in that. That way you can make amends and you can realize when your ego or when the protective mechanisms try to rise up to talk you out of it, when you're trying to live a more reserved life or a more relaxed life with making easier money if easy money is difficult, or if you don't think that you're worthy and that you have to work hard for things. I know that I've seen my dad and even aspects now, my mother worked so hard just to have the things that they wanted, and there was nothing wrong with that. That's what brought them through. But it doesn't have to continue with me. If we can break that, and if there's an easier way to bring forth a way to provide for myself and my son, then shall be it. So be it. Well, utilize that. That way you can have a more balanced life. That way we can continue to be more present if money comes easier. And like I said, is it an ending or is it a new beginning? Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Everybody have a good day, and I hope that you took something from it and that you use it in your own life. Thanks.